This is the Nomad 883 Pro from Carbide 3D. It's hard to tell, but at the very bottom here, you see a piece of plastic holding the metal in. That piece of plastic was 3D printed as a jig to hold the stock part in to cut a gear. The jig is made so I'm able to flip the gear when I'm done surfacing one side and milling it out. Here's one test print, or a test cut with wood. The only difference between this gear and the one that's going in there now, I've added a nipple on top to add a bearing. This was pretty nice for a CNC to cut a gear out. It's a little time consuming. The wood part took about an hour. The metal is probably going to take close to 3 to 4 hours. Right now I'm facing the material. This is what the gear looks like. So this is what I'm cutting right now. Sorry it's very loud, guys, but this is what I'm cutting. This gear actually doesn't need to be flipped, but the jig will help with other gears that I have that will have the actual nipple part on both sides, and the material will need to be flipped and positioned right in the same spot, and that's where the 3D printed jig comes in. The 3D printed jig looks like, bring it over for you guys. This is what the jig looks like. I just made some cutouts here for the screws. The screws are recessed in so they're not touching the actual bottom part of the material. This is where the material sits, and it comes right out. So all I have to do is pull the stock out, flip it over, and it'll be in the exact same spot that it was before. The problem that I'm having right now with the actual program itself, Carbide Motion is not liking large file format. So what I'm having to do is I open this file up, and let me pause this for a sec. I just paused it so you guys can hear me. What you guys have to do is, for some reason, any large file I try with Carbide Motion, it does not want to load in. I've emailed them, I've called, I haven't got a response back from Carbide, but a little workaround that I've figured out is that instead of doing your entire post process, do it in sections. So right now I'm doing the facing, and then the next part I'm going to do the step down. So I'm going to delete the face, do another post process of the contour additive clearing. I'm going to do some additive clearing. I'm going to export that, run that. It's a little bit more work, but it's the only workaround that I found to use Carbide Motion, because it just will not load if I load the entire process. Especially milling out aluminum, you have to do a lot of step downs, a lot of slow step downs. You can't just eat as much as you want as you would with cutting wood. So this is the process. Like I said, it did a very good job cutting out wood stock. So this was a gear. It's the same amount of gear teeth for this one, same size. Cutting out 4-inch round stock. I just made a round jig, screwed that down, and so far so good. The only problem I'm having so far is the software. So I have a good feeling that Carbide can actually cut out gears no problem, but I guess we'll see. We just have to wait and see the process. I hope the export between multiple surfaces is fine. The other problem you may run into that is it not recognizing that it already milled this stuff out. So you just have to be careful with recognizing that and making sure you tell that it's already been milled out, and then do your new step down height. So it's not starting from the stock height, it's starting from the actual model height. So hope this video is cool for some people. I haven't seen anyone making gears with this machine, so I'm posting it up there, and along with a little help.